afternoon, everyone. Too true. It's spooky season. I am excited. I love spooky season.
The ability to appreciate beauty
So-
is an important virtue.
Kaba agrees. So we've got some spooky stuff going on here. It's for fun. We've got a spooky neon roomy chibi, and we got some cute bats. If they get in the way, we'll just remove them from the overlay. But for now, they're cute, and I want to enjoy them. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I've been working hard this morning, doing chores and stuff. Got a lot of house to clean up before I am gone for a bit here. That'll be on Wednesday. So today, we got today and tomorrow to finish up catching up this story quest. I think we can do it. I think we can get this last quest done. That'll be good. And we can enjoy our spooky overlay for a couple of days. Because we love our spooky overlays. Also, I'm just gonna, like, default to Neon Rumi. Since it do be spooky season for us for the next couple days. So we can dress up and have some fun. You all get a free Neon Rumi. Or maybe a cow Rumi if I'm feeling it. Probably Neon Rumi, though. So we can match our chibi! I have, like, not gotten started at all on my dailies because the struggle with technology this morning do be real.
Everyone hold hands!
I was fighting with the tablet. I don't know what's going on with it, but it was having some issues. That's not my quest menu. There we go. I've just been, like, exiting out of the quest and then reselecting it because it's so much easier to just have it warp me. Well, for it to put me on the map next to where the quest is rather than moving around on the map trying to find it. So I've been doing that. It's very convenient. I'm doing a good job of picking up all the things I find on the way too, since not playing for a while meant I ran low on a lot of stuff. Oh, actually... Nah, I don't want to waste my burst. I might need it to kill stuff. I can't level up Novelette yet, so... Kokomi is still my damage dealer. For all of the, like, 6 seconds or whatever that her stance lasts. It's fine. We make it work. That's not what I'm... No, stop. There we go. She targets things from so far away.
Hey!
It's a good thing, but also, sometimes I don't want to target the thing.
Hold the line!
Sometimes I want to, like, attack something in the environment that's closer to me. Technically, we have completed that daily, so we're done. Oh, this one. I wish there was a teleport up there to use for this daily. I always have to climb up the wall. It's fine, I have a lot of stamina, but like, it would be cool if I didn't have to climb the cliff. Oh well, at least our dailies today are nice, easy, fast.
Go!
I thought that would kill them. My mistake. I just want to make sure I have enough time to run past everything. Just set up a portable waypoint. No! Then I can't set it up in other places that would be more useful. I have no idea where my portable waypoint is set up, by the way. I think it's still set up in the chasm. Up at the top of that climb so that I never had to do it again. And then I realized there was a shortcut.
Add Astro. Thank you for
Easy. Alright. Quest time. We quest due. Oh gosh, there's so many teleports we don't have there yet. Alright. We go from here. There's... No, we're not doing that one. I remember that. We started that. We're not doing that. That's gonna be a long quest, probably. Whee! Nice thing about teleporting to the top of Fontaine is I can just fly to wherever I need to go. Also, you know I'm looking at the top of stuff to make sure there isn't anything I can get while I'm up here. Oh, like that! We're getting that. It's fine, it's close. There was probably a smarter way to go about this, but I'm sure we'll be. Why? Why did you just let go? Anyway, I'm sure we'll be fine. We have lots of stamina. It's a good thing we have lots of stamina, since Kaveh decided to just let go of the wall for no reason.
What a lucky find. That's made your day.
Sure. Why not? Where's the quest? It's behind this wall, isn't it? This teleporter. The music here is very, like... It reminds me of, like, a fantasy story.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
I'm sure it'll be
Don't
fine.
worry, we haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go
I
order
bet.
for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's
We
not,
got to eat here with her first.
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
you, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Sure.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Oh my gosh.
Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
There's so much food already.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
So they suspected people were being turned into water before now?
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I
Oof.
don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters.
Like mine?
It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right?
Oh no, I have
Let's
interest.
talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
To investigate this with you. Wanted to ask the Hydro Archon for information, but we haven't had an opportunity to do so. Yeah.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
I'm pretty sure I do things that are questionable all the time.
That's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Okay, but hold on a minute. What about all the other people who probably paid to go to that play, and all the other people who are acting in that play that I'm ruining their performance? This seems like it would be bad for a lot of people. I don't like this idea. Let's just break the law again. Yeah, exactly.
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Yeah, Paimon's not good at
All right,
acting.
here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed.
What?
Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
That sounds like a terrible
I can
idea.
testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
No.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Oh, but we do.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
Yeah, and probably doesn't want to talk to me.
That if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna refuse to talk to me. Would someone with her personality really feel shame?
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Who keeps stealing people's food?
Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
Oh,
No,
it was Paimon
it's
this
fine.
time.
We're just about done here.
Is this gonna be a theme here? Just disappearing food?
Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Huh. My drink also tasted that way too? Why does it... what?
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then.
Who
If we're
messed
all
with the
finished eating,
food?
then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
I'm concerned now. The Fanta tastes funny. And we're the only ones who drank it.
So full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Fontaine, the hunt for the Archon's missing food. You could try walking.
Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you.
Fuck you!
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with... Huh.
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
What? That was a pretty pricey meal, all thanks to Paimon. I could help cover it.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
I have a lot of Mora.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority.
Aw, she likes us.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
I like Navia too. Oh gosh, I thought that was the quest end for a second. I was like, what? That's it? No, that's not it. What is this? That's the cafe marker. Can I have some recipes in here? Can I go in? There's food here. Does that mean there's recipes? Where's the person who sells the food? Are you the No. Are you the person who sells the food? Recipes? Oh my god, there's so many! Oh, this is the best place. That's a food. Are there any ingredients exclusive to you? No. Oh, so many recipes. Do you have stuff too? No, you don't. I don't care about you. Noob noises. We got so many recipes! Look at them all! Yes! Heck yeah. Ah! It's a good thing Navia's brought us here. We got so many recipes. Noob doobie doing a bork. You doobie doobie doo. Woof. Noob noises.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
The person talking again.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yes! And it's clearer than it was during the day.
Ugh. That's kinda spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
I'm fine.
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Shh! I'm hypnotized right now, or something. Go away, Paimon. I was right! It's an Oceanid!
Vache. Are you my dear Vache?
I don't think so.
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
If you describe them to me, I could maybe help. Were you?
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
You were human?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who has lost their form.
Oceanid question mark? You lost your form?
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim,
Old Archon, maybe? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe we found another previous Archon just kind of chilling. We'll find out. Could she be one of the girls who were dissolved? Maybe? Light blue water?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vacher would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
I could find him. You describe him to me, I can go look.
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vacher, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
That you wanted him to move on? Be hard for him to
Perhaps
forget
that is
you.
so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vacher above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
So he saw them dissolve.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
After the body is dissolved, some measure of consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Oh god, they can hear Paimon?
Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vacher, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
But we don't know who Vacher is. We don't even know what he looks like. Oh god damn, what happened?
Nami is outnumbered!
Damn!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
What did we miss? Oh.
Chlorand?
She's on our side?
Quick, now's our chance!
God damn, look at her go. Fighting scene 10 out of 10, yes.
I I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
Hey, wait, hold on. Before that, I was kind of unconscious. What the fuck just happened?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Whoa.
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these garter mechs? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
They're both really heavy. Yup. I appreciate Genshin for, like, having detail.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I think that's fair.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Oh, bye. Nice to meet you. I like your outfit.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Thanks for kicking their butts for us. Yeah. Don't mind me. I just kind of stood off to the side, mouth agape, wondering what the heck was going on. Can I have an explanation now? What just happened?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us!
New best friend already saving our life.
Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Paimon, I don't think you could fight off a blade of grass. Anyway, thanks for the rescue, Navia.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a
Go on.
farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast.
Paimon only
As
fights
such,
food.
We're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
Partners
It will
forever,
take
Navia?
50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Were you stalking
Well,
me?
to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
No, you're not. Please don't make her
Yes,
head big.
All thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky?
Uh-huh.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
And you said nothing.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
They tried to kill Navia! What? They tried to kill my new friend! Navia, you're not allowed to drink anything before I drink it now.
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
You're not allowed to drink or eat anything unless I drink or eat it first. And make sure that it doesn't taste salty. And we're all fucked if they figure out how to make it not taste salty.
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Exactly, sharing food. Or I make all her food for her from now on. Me. I make it. And I'll use the water that I got from Novelette because he's a Hydro character. He can just, like, make a little water fountain for us.
Huh. Really?
Fortunately, Paimon, neither of us are from Fontaine.
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Lenny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Actually, it has to be, gosh, I can't remember the name of the position in the kitchen, but the person who checks the food last and garnishes the plate before it's given to the waiter. It has to be either them or the person who gave us the food or somebody invisible who added the water that we couldn't see at some point. Because they at a high-class hotel like that, they're not giving us the food without trying it themselves first. So they would know that something is wrong with it. Yeah, there's a name for that position. I can't remember what it's called right now. It has been a very long time since I cooked professionally.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
It tasted bad.
It can't be coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. She said that she heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
Professionally, probably not what you're thinking. I didn't work in, like, some 5-star restaurant or anything like that. I worked in a restaurant in my town. It was when I was very young. And we had all the positions, and one of the things that I got to do because I was underage, so I couldn't use, like, a lot of stuff in the kitchen because I wasn't legally allowed to. So I was a prep cook, basically. I learned a lot, though. It was really cool, and I loved it, and I would love to work in a kitchen again someday. The closest I have come to working in a kitchen again since then was I worked at the movie theater, and I got to run the concession stand, which was super fun. I actually enjoyed it so much. It was really fun. It's very high pace, lots of fun. You learn a lot about popcorn. According to Lynette, the ability to hear voices like that has to do with one's sensitivity to the hydro element. So drinking the water made me sensitive.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
Oh, whoops.
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
Also gained new intel.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Yeah, the Oceanid
let's hear it,
question
Sally.
mark doesn't want her... Would this be an X? Doesn't want her X question mark? Vache to come back for her. She wants him to let her go. Oh, yeah, right. She was one of the missing women. I totally realized that's what they were talking about.
Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
Maybe? Or maybe he's just kind of pursuing this on his own because, you know, your entire court system is a farce. We should try searching for him.
Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
All right, partner.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Of course I
Well,
will.
You did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
Nope. The court system has less structure than a fart in the wind. Exactly. This will prove to be their biggest mistake.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
See, I don't care that they tried to ambush me, but they tried to melt my new friend here. I care about that. Someone's gonna pay.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners.
Deepen our bonds?
We'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Okay.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
We're gonna go deepen our bonds with Navia. Gonna become better friends. Our system is based on entertainment, puts on court jester hat. We got this. Exactly. That's how we won. We won by being entertaining, by proving that the Archon was wrong. Entertainment. We had to make it entertaining.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
It worked out well for us because, you know, Paimon does have a flair for the dramatic.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you for headbands.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
Court system plus Bill Nye intro equals win. Yes. Paimon the... Nope. I lost it. Oh, we'll figure out something. Where are we going? This way. Wait, I probably need to go down. That's probably why they led me to this door, so that I would know to go down. I see shinies. I want the things. Potatoes! We always need potatoes.
Hup.
Up. We could climb the ladders down. But what fun would that be? Whoop whoop. Hello? There's people down here. Mez is the smart girl. Mez. Yes! The smartest girl will all be upheld. Exactly. I am smart sometimes. They sure didn't want you to solve that case before they gave you all the things, though, so they definitely didn't give you all the things. And that's frustrating. I just find that really frustrating when a game does that. Where it's like, oh, solve this thing, but we're not going to give you all the information you need to solve it. We've rigged it so that you couldn't possibly figure it out. The only thing worse than that is when they manipulate information. Like, they show you a scene one way, but then you find out that's not actually how the scene happened at all, even though that's how they showed it to you. I hate that. That is the most manipulative, deceitful, just... I hate that. It will ruin it for me. Like, if a show or something does that, it just ruins the entire show. Like, oh, you were so determined not to have me solve it before your big reveal that you gave me incorrect information.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
That's alright.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
I'm sure it's very nice. Thank you.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Good.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
Yep.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
You'll get there.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets.
I don't know who that
3
is.
years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor, instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
I don't blame him at all for choosing a duel instead of a trial, because your system is a farce. And he probably thought he couldn't win against whatever entertainment had been pitted against him.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up.
I believe you.
At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence.
No.
But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it...
Here's the thing about the truth. In a system like this, the truth is unlikely to win. Because the truth is often not as entertaining as a lie can be made.
That even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
He died trying to protect and honor the truth in the only way he felt he could.
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
No, he was absolutely set up then.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records.
Yep,
However,
had honor even to the end.
I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me.
My guess is either he did kill the friend, but he had good reason to kill the friend, Or he didn't kill the friend. He was being set up, and he knew he couldn't win.
And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
And that's why you struggle to get as much funding as he did in the past. Because people don't like you trying to defend someone they have decided is a murderer. Seeking the truth, quite alike in this regard. Exactly. That's why we liked each other in the first place.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
Nope, because it would be far more entertaining to have the hero suddenly become a villain for some made-up reason. That, I'm sure, was very entertaining to people.
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama.
There you go.
It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that.
Yeah, except your entire court system is based on it. That's just a little bit different than the rest of the Genshin universe right now.
People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
However, I'm sure, as usual, MiHoYo is actually talking about the real world with this story, because we've seen in every area that these sure do be thinly veiled messages.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh. So that's why you two don't get along. Or rather, why you hate her. I see.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
You're technically correct, but the circumstances are a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
It's okay to take your
Afterward, Ms.
time.
Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
So he knew he was probably going to lose.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
No, you're totally fine. Also, I wonder if he, like, yes, chose the duel and all that, but I wonder if he was kind of coerced into losing that duel now. like something something, you're going to do this duel and die in it, or else we're going to do this thing, kind of thing.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah, like blackmail kind of thing.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Or maybe like a, we'll stop doing this thing if you go die in this duel. Something something coercion, something something blackmail. Wait, there's a food marker down here. Hold on. I see the food marker. Do we have to go up? I think we have to keep going up. I see you, food marker. Can't go in here. How do I get to it? Oh, heck yeah, it worked. Okay, wait. Get up here. I need the recipes. Maybe the food marker... No, it has to be here, right? Because otherwise it wouldn't show it. So, like, if it was on the upper level, we wouldn't see it, right? How do I get to it? Yes, we're climbing. I want the recipes. No, this is just going all the way back up. It must be above us then. Well, darn it. I was excited. I thought we were gonna get more recipes. It's fine. We discovered a shortcut. Whoop, whoop. God, I love the little sealies. Hey, do you have food? No. Just a fixer. Darn. No recipes.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I'm sure they have lives
Send them
too.
back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back.
Maybe.
But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
Probably.
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Oh?
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
Did you find anything?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Maybe.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No, we'll find him.
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
Paimon, why do you pronounce his name with an R?
Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Alright, let's go. Good timing for an ad break. sure you're stretching and hydrating
Ballet is
and
right up
checking your
ahead.
posture.
Come on.
Don't want to sit like shrimps. It's bad for your back. As soon as we start the cutscene here, I'll do my own hydrate and posture check. Alright. Ah, good stretch. Ah, my back needed that.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Is he?
This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Stop saying his name with an R.
Don't you recognize us?
Huh?
Should they?
Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
Good job.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell.
I like the Melusines.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
I kind of want to see them fight.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
They're so cute.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
Mortal
We're here
Kombat.
today
Yes.
to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
Is this how
All
easy it
right
is
then,
to
I'll
deceive
let you
them?
through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Wow.
Ah, thanks so much.
Oh no! Oh, they are awful guards! But they're so adorable! Trust me, I'm allowed to be here. Okay. Oh. They guard like a puppy. Yes. Any other
Please,
books
come
I can
in.
grab in here? Schnooblet, I'm coming. In a moment. I need to check for books. Hold on. There's books in here I have to check. Alright. Do you have any books in your office? Hi. I like your typewriter.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
Book in front of him is
We're
blank.
looking for a man called
Maybe he's
Vache.
writing a journal.
He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
He's a nice guy. Why did you think he wouldn't be? Oh, I love grandfather clocks.
Unfortunately,
Look at that
I'm
ribbon.
quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Huh. Any tips?
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem.
Yes?
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
Aww. He's trying. Be nice.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Water Daddy, yes.
Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should.
He says everything with no emotion. You're being mean.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead.
That was your father's wish.
Eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear.
That's
cruel. If you
cruel.
truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel?
Because your father
Why
insisted.
didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice.
You're being
My
cruel.
apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
You don't get to blame him for your father's decisions. And you were cruel.
Navia, are you okay?
No. She's
I'm
clearly
fine.
not. Yeah, sometimes things boil to the surface.
Rain. It's raining.
You know, of
You're
all
right.
the people that she could have
Wasn't it
taken
still
that out
sunny
on,
when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today.
that
How strange.
he was probably the best person she could have taken that out on. But he didn't deserve it.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Yep. Because he's the dragon. And he does hurt from what happened. And you telling him that he doesn't was incredibly cruel.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Was your father outside when it happened? Unless he melted, I don't see how that would matter.
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
But there was something you didn't know at the time? Are we talking about the melting thing?
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
So we're talking about when he supposedly killed his friend, not when he was fighting the duel, right? So we're talking about his friend disappeared.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier?
Do we even know what he told the authorities actually happened? Because I sure don't. Nobody's told me. So why don't we start with that? Did he tell the authorities an unbelievable story? Let's start with that. Yeah, there was a puddle beside the shattered vase in the magician's basement. But we solved that whole case. The vase was just knocked over in a fight. But the dude that we were going to get more information from did get melted right in front of us. Somebody melted him.
All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
We should go.
Great. Let's go then.
Oh. There's Hydroculus here? Where? Is it up there? It's up there. I need it. What was that bird? Where'd it go? There it is. You see it? Did you see the birds? I'll get over there. You think we can run on this rope? I can't see. There we go. No, we can't walk on the rope. Okay. How to best get over there? Oh, look, this way. Birds! Glorious birds! Did you see them? They were glorious. They were majestic. Hold on, I need this Hydroculus. What's this thing? What are you? Oh, right, these things. I wonder if I'm gonna need it. No, keep going. Go up here. I want the Hydroculus. Ooh. No, I'll go this way. No, no, Comet, climb. I can't see. There we go. Okay, we got this. All right. Wait. No, wrong way. That's okay.
Right.
There we go. Give me. Yes. There were birds over here. They were here. They were flying above this. I don't know where they went. We probably scared them away when we were climbing. Anyway, we did the thing. Good job. Get this teleporter. Give me. Yes. And this viewpoint. Look at all the things they're giving us. Neat. Alright. Go to Poisson. We're here.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
I don't know, let's ask him.
There's no need to be so surprised.
Is it the clubhouse?
While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Win!
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common.
Oh, I'm sure you had other things.
A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
Yes. It's a very cool clubhouse.
I thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers.
You were hoping someone at the wheel rolled a natural one and got it stuck down there. That would be pretty funny.
But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Alright. There's another Hydroculus in that direction. I'll look for it. Should be right around here. Ooh, swordfish. Where are you? You're right here somewhere. Are you below? Yes. I see it. Maybe? I think I see it. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get that. I think that's underwater. Yeah. I don't even know if that's... Yeah, that definitely is. Can I dive here? I can. Give. Yes. Alright, we'll go back up. There we go. We got it. Swimming. I hate swimming. Alright. Stuck. There we go. We go this way. Oh, we're going up. It's pretty pretty down here. Pre-deport, pre-deport. So by deport, you meant to make it a port, right? Yes. Give cabbage. It's hard to tell when things are sparkly or when it's just sparkles in the environment. They have such cute decorations. Like the shells and the starfish and stuff. Cat! Oh, I was gonna see what was up there.
Maloose, we're back!
Hi! We're home.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners.
Partners.
You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea?
Makes sense.
You still remember, right, Maloose? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Oh, can I have the story so I can understand what the heck's going on?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Story time?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson.
Okay.
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
We know about that. We've heard about that.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Sure did.
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious. but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
There it is. Could have belonged to someone who got dissolved. Very possible. Also possible it was just a coincidence. But we have seen a very similar scene.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Yup. Need to stop liquefying people in this town. They do. It's a very bad habit they seem to have here. Let's see. Maybe your father got into an argument with Jacques, but it's also possible that the third person was to blame. I'm more inclined to believe that the third person was to blame.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning.
Yeah.
I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives.
Look at that bird.
There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark.
That's probably for a reason.
What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly?
No.
I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him.
That's
Is
not
that
true.
the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
You are taking things way too personally. Gave you the chance to live how you want.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture.
Yep.
But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Yep.
That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to is that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
Confrérie?
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most.
I don't know.
It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
I don't know. I'm starting to get kind of suspicious of Malus.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
3 years ago on a rainy night, banquet goers heard 2 gunshots outside the house. When they reached the scene, Callus had a gun in his hands and Jacques had been shot and slain. Based on the investigations done then, there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callus was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. Getting excited? Yeah. See, I think it's interesting that he's pointing out all of these people that would put her in serious, doubt, turmoil, all those things, because they're all people that she's close to, that she relies on. But doesn't consider that, the person he's trying to catch might have considered that he would try to do that and would therefore not react to him trying to out them by, making them kind of mess up their own plan and get themselves caught. And that just doesn't seem like the kind of thing that someone as experienced as him would overlook.
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh good, another snot-nosed brat.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rusula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt.
Yep.
On the matter regarding my husband,
Kid
my
be
daughter
angry.
and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Someone ordered Jacques to take out Collis? Maybe?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The
There you
best
go.
in the whole world.
That's the only answer
And
you
you
need
should
then.
hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh,
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Well, most people probably don't want to compare you to your father since, you know, he's kind of hated. Jacques' family believes that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Callis. Did Callis act in self-defense, or was there more to the incident?
It's good to get out and stretch your legs once in a while.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next.
Get more
The rock should be
information.
nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city.
Oop, shiny things.
I'll get myself together on the way. So please don't worry.
That was a lot of money. Nice.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table.
Okay.
After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene.
Maybe lurking on your Switch? Alright. Enjoying the case so much? Yes. We probably won't be going too much longer after this, so you shouldn't have too much to catch up on. And we'll probably finish it all up tomorrow. But thanks for coming. Thanks for chilling with us. Thanks for the head pats. I love them. You have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
We're thinking about it.
At
Maybe.
least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
Maybe. I'm surprised nobody investigated that.
But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us?
That's the
He
question.
didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
I had no faith in the
About
courts
that,
when I first got here.
Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Florent, the advisor to the Spina de Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day of the case and can provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out.
Where's my...
Progress. This one's a little ways away. All the way back here. Alright. Oh, this dude.
Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Of course he did.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work, it's really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These
Kinda
two
don't like
are
this
my
guy.
partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
I'll ask Nubilet
That'd
for
be
that.
much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret.
As it should
So
be.
I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Yeah. I still don't like you very much, though. I don't like your attitude.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Thierry is the person responsible for official contact between the Spina de Rosula and the guards. According to him, only the sufficiently rich can privately own large numbers of Gardamex. And what's to stop him from pretending he's not rich? I'm not sure I necessarily suspect him of being the one who attacked us right now, but I don't particularly like his attitude, and I feel like it would not be hard to manipulate him. So, I don't have much confidence in him right now. Do not like that guy.
Hello. How may I help you?
Question?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Arrives in a hurry.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, I get that.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive.
Why, thank you.
To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Great, I'm gossip.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Yeah, you're rather gross.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Look at that dog.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
There was no vigilance
Alas,
involved. Paimon just
it seems
accidentally
things are
drank
heating
yours.
up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Only one?
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more, see if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Marcel is the leader of the Confrérie of Cabrières and was the organizer of the banquet years prior. The Confrérie and the Spina de Rosula have always maintained a close working relationship. Though his recollection of the events of the case is quite foggy, he is willing to defend Navia. He's probably not going to be the best source of help for the investigation. Because if he's not lying, he only remembers one gunshot.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
None of them really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
The guard has bad attitude. The Confrérie either has really bad recall or is suspicious. And I don't really feel suspicious of the first dude we talked to right now, Florent or whatever.
But where should we start?
Jack's motive.
You're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members,
He already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Maybe. Wouldn't have fired a shot at all if I was him.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
Yeah. The third person. We already suspected the third person this whole time.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Marcel, I guess. If we're going by they have money.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Maybe it was none of them. But, you know, you only let me pick from them. Thierry, I guess?
Thierry, you say?
Thierry.
Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Probably not.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory.
Yep.
If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
They're gonna make me go through every single one of these, aren't they? And it's not gonna be any of them. I don't get a none of them option.
It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Who could it be?
None of them. But, you know, I can't have that option. Okay. I'm missing information. Let's try this one again.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
As far as if we're picking someone who is suspicious, based purely on how we've interacted with them, he has money, he has incorrectly recalled how things happened, he fits best.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these 3, did he?
Maybe not.
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well.
I'm kind of suspicious
the
of him.
suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
I don't know. He is the most suspicious, but I don't know. I need more
We still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
synth production base. We could go camp it out.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky, but we don't have any other options right now.
We don't go charging in. We just camp it
We need
out
far
and
more
watch.
solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
We can just go
Navia,
camp it out and watch.
Here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Okay. What's up?
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Our frenemy's getting himself in trouble as usual.
What? Is that someone you know?
I am not surprised at all.
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Yep.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
What?
It's absurd, don't you think?
This is more doing of your Archon, isn't it?
None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
I think we should go enjoy the entertainment that will be our frenemy kicking everyone's ass and making your Archon look like a fool again. He'll be fine on his own, but I want to watch this. Let's get some popcorn.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Irenaeus while I go investigate that place. I'm confident in my combat abilities.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Got it.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
I don't trust Mellis.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
Honestly, I'm not sure I trust Silver either. Combining the information regarding the Gardamex and the investigation results so far, it can be concluded that there is only one person who can have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the synth business without leaving traces. This person is none other than Marcel. At least that's what the game wants us to pick.
Irenaeus, we should also get going.
Hello, Seely.
The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Friend? Friend? Game Plutor? hydro-abundant nation like Fontaine will have such mysterious phenomena as hydrograna. After you collect 3 hydrograna, they will combine into a hydro core that will continuously apply hydro to the surrounding environment. Alright? Even if you have not yet collected 3 of them, characters can cause hydrograna to grow into a hydro core if continuously affected by hydro. Neat. Alright. Oh, whoops. I have to keep the Sealies over there. Did it work? I think it worked. Nice! We win! Good job, us.
A new discovery.
There's so many Sealy things over here. What is that? Crystal fly. Ah, neat. Wait. Puzzling. Give hydro. There we go. Alright, what did that do? Is there another one? I only see these 2. Maybe we need to get the Sealies. There's one over here. Hello, I would like your treasure chest. Please give.
Committed to memory. Rest and rebuild.
There we go. Give.
One man's stone is another man's gem.
Easy. What's this conch shell? Can I do anything with it? No. I'll take that. Guide the Sealy back. Then we gotta find out where the other one is hanging out. There's gotta be one that way? Is it across the water? Is it in the water? Can it be in the water? Maybe something to do with these. Yeah. Oops. Oh, wait, it stopped. Alright, so I think we bring both of them. There we go. Fuck. No! Oh, I hate it! Ah! I picked them up too soon. I thought it would take 3 of them. Think there's anything up there? Oh, there's a teleport up there. Maybe. Okay, alright. Do this the right way this time. Oh, we need... We do need 3. I was right. Come on. I have to stay with them. Alright. Wait until I'm not wet. Alright. Go. Yes! Finally! Ugh. I hate it. Seely, what are you doing? Come on. Get the chest. Yes. Give me the thing. Give. Yes.
Certainly worth the extra mile.
Primo gems. Yes. Okay, what were we doing? We gotta go this way. Getting distracted. We're good at that. I thought I saw a shiny thing. Okay.
Huh.
Find the entrance to the
According to
headquarters.
Malusha's info, the synth production base is underwater.
Okay.
Let's go and try to find the entrance.
How far is that? It's kind of far. Is it saying there's a teleporter down there I can get? Are there teleports under? There are teleports under. Majestic Sea Flap Flap! Look at it! Let me give the thing. Give me. There we go. How do I do the thing? L2. There we go. Alright, what we get? Release water blades that are long and sharp. Hold to aim and release. Okay. They're very weak. Did I get hit by the water blade before? I must have, because I'm missing HP. Sometimes see energy emitting blocks underwater. Touching them will cause your character to absorb the energy within them, restoring aquatic stamina and HP. Okay. Glowy fish is recovery orb? Cut the weak sections of the Fontum or seagrass and destroy them. Oh, okay. Oh. There we go. That might have been too far away. Try again. No? Oh, I see. I think. Hit this part. Well, it's blinking. I can't tell if it's working. Do I just need to keep hitting it? I'm doing what it said to do. Do I have to hit all of them in one swipe? There we go. Okay. Clearer directions needed. Also, I see the Hydroculus. Where are you? Down there. Paimon, you are interrupting me collecting things.
Found it. Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base.
Why are you under the water with me?
Sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Well, they don't want it to stand out.
Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms.
Oh,
Navia's
God.
probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
So you should probably shut up then. Oh.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
You're all fucked.
In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
Balefire agrees.
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
He doesn't care.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Oh, let him fight.
What's going on?
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
Good for you.
We can put that discussion aside for now.
This is why
I'm not
like her.
here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer.
But I want to watch you fight.
Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted.
I don't think he cares.
Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
Again? Nothing up here? No.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabaret...
Suspect analysis. Oh, maybe I should have picked that one. Oops.
There. Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Oh my
Please
god.
let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Wait, are you gonna charge the Hydro Archon with a false accusation from, before? We should do that.
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful.
We're in for story time, aren't we?
Through elucidating what really happened in that case, can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case?
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Oh, here we go.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
So, do I replace things now?
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Okay. Host a large banquet. That's fine. All attending guests heard 2 gunshots. Is this where... Oh, okay. What was this again? Whoops. Two gunshots. Scene of the crime. Okay. Callus did not carry a gun when he went out. The analysis of him. The clothing. Okay. Let's see. So I should put this here? No. No.
This assassin.
I'm just gonna start randomly putting things in. Honestly, they're not real clear about what they want me to do.
Confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin.
Okay. This one? No. This one? No. The water.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice.
Cool.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
I'm never sure which details they want me to pull out.
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
Yes.
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
Not really.
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Thank you for resubscribing, Zodiac.
If you don't have any
29
evidence,
months
you
of
should
streaming.
Just go home.
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Thank you. Yes.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
Nobody would have believed
I thought
him.
about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist.
Yep.
But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clorand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clorand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
Great, good. Can we go back out
However,
of here?
Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events?
Nope.
On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Yep.
Don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault.
I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well.
This doesn't...
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
None of this has anything to do... It doesn't make any case to say that he was here during the disappearances. You're not refuting that he was not here before the disappearances started. But anyway, that's not how the court system works here anyway.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Oh good, we're back to us. Did they make me go in? How do I go back out? I can't go back out. Well, you know what? Screw you. I'm teleporting out. Break time. We take a break here. We will continue tomorrow. That was a very long cutscene that I was not allowed to pause. Alright, got that. Check out this new item in our inventory. Oh, it was a blueprint we picked up. Nice. We have achievements to get as usual. Hear the Oceanids call and connect with her consciousness. And learn about Navia's father at the Spina de Rosula's stronghold. Activated my trap card. Break time. Alright. We pause. We pause and we continue tomorrow. We have gone longer than I planned because of that very long court cutscene. There we go. Alright. That will be it for today. I don't think we're gonna worry about raiding anyone today. We're just gonna go ahead and head out because I gotta get going. But you all have a great evening. Get some food or something, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye, everyone. Toot-a-roo.